Once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled amidst green hills, there lived a woman named Mama Mina, who was known for her wisdom, kindness, and the warmth she shared with her family and community. Mama Mina had one son, Kofi, who had recently married a beautiful and kind young woman named Adoma. Everyone in the village knew how much Mama Mina cherished Adoma, and many admired the close bond between the two women. Mama Mina treated Adoma as if she were her own daughter, and for a time, they shared a relationship of love and mutual respect. The entire village would often see the two women working together in the fields, cooking and laughing by the riverside. Adoma, who had lost her mother at a young age, found a second mother in Mama Mina. They shared secrets, recipes, and dreams for the future. Mama Mina even spoke proudly of the grandchildren she dreamed Adoma and Kofi would give her, expressing hope for a house filled with the laughter of children. One day, however, an unfortunate misunderstanding occurred. Adoma, now fully embraced by her husband's family, had grown comfortable enough to share her thoughts more openly, perhaps a bit too openly. While preparing a meal with Mama Mina, she noticed that Mama Mina had mistakenly added the wrong spice to the soup. Without thinking, Adoma laughed and said in a casual but careless tone, "Oh, Mama, you really are getting old. Maybe you should leave cooking to the younger ones before you confuse us all with your mistakes." Mama Mina felt a sharp pang in her heart at Adoma's words. Though it was a harmless comment to Adoma, for Mama Mina, it struck deeply. Mama Mina felt a sharp pang in her heart at Adoma's words. Though it was a harmless comment to Adoma, for Mama Mina, it struck deeply. She had always taken pride in her abilities, her role as the matriarch, and the respect she commanded in the family. Hearing these words from Adoma felt like a cruel reminder of her age, and to Mama Mina it sounded like she was being dismissed as irrelevant. She managed a small smile in front of Adoma, hiding her heart, but her heart was now heavy with sadness. In the days that followed, Mama Mina's feelings festered and bitterness grew within her. She could not shake the insults she felt Adoma had dealt her. She began to see Adoma's every action through a lens clouded by resentment. Soon, what had once been a harmonious relationship turned into a quiet rivalry, known only to Mama Mina, who kept her anger buried under layers of pretense. One fateful night, after a restless evening, mulling over her bitterness, Mama Mina went into the forest, to a small clearing where her ancestors were said to hear the cries of their kin. She sat under the stars and let her feelings pour out, calling upon the spirits of her ancestors. Her voice trembled as she whispered, "My heart is heavy. The daughter I once cherished has insulted me. She no longer respects me, and I am nothing but a foolish old woman in her eyes." Overcome with anger, she spoke a curse into the light. "Since she does not value me, let her womb be as empty as her heart is toward me. May she yearn for children and never bear any, as long as her respect for me is lacking." As her words faded into the darkness, a chill swept through the air, and Mama Mina felt a strange satisfaction. Yet, deep down, an unsettled part of her felt remorseful, even as she walked back to her house. The next morning, she greeted Adoma as warmly as ever, pretending nothing was wrong. But her heart had grown colder, and her love for Adoma was hidden behind a mask of kindness. As the years went by, Adoma and Kofi longed for children, but none came. Their joy slowly turned into sadness, and Adoma was plagued by questions and doubts. The village whispered, offering remedies and prayers, but nothing worked. The couple sought help from healers, prayed to their ancestors, and offered sacrifices. Yet Adoma's womb remained barren. Through it all, Mama Mina remained the ever-loving mother-in-law, consoling Adoma, offering her traditional herbs and kind words, though her heart harbored the secret of her curse. Every time Adoma cried, Mama Mina held her close, her voice soothing, even as her heart held firm. Have patience, my darling daughter, she would say. The spirits have their reasons. One day, perhaps, they will answer your prayers. Mama Mina's words seemed genuine, and Adoma took comfort in her mother-in-law's presence, never suspecting that the source of her suffering lay within her own household. As the years went by and Adoma remained without children, the sorrow in her heart deepened. She tried to remain strong and optimistic, but the weight of her longing often became too much to bear. It wasn't just the dreams of motherhood she mourned, but also the whispers and glances from villagers, the gentle yet relentless questions from relatives, and the unspoken sadness that seemed to creep into Kofi's eyes with each passing season. One night, after hearing that Kofi's relatives were again urging him to take another wife, Adoma couldn't hold her pain any longer. She went to Kofi, her heart heavy and her eyes filled with tears. Kofi noticed her trembling as she approached and quickly took her into his arms. In the dim light of small home, Adoma clung to him, burying her face in his chest as sobs raked her body. I feel like I've failed you, Kofi, she cried, her voice muffled against him. Maybe it's true. Maybe you deserve someone else, someone who can give you the family you want. Kofi held her tightly, gently stroking her hair as he whispered, Adoma, my love, you are not a failure. You are my heart, my joy, my everything. If the gods have not blessed us with children yet, then we will wait together. I did not marry you just for children. I married you because I love you and nothing will ever change that. His words were like balm to her wounded soul. Kofi gently lifted her chin, his gaze soft but firm. I know people talk and I know it hurts you, he said, his voice steady and reassuring. But let them talk. They don't know the love we share, nor do they have the right to judge us. You are worth more to me than 100 children, Adoma, and I will not take another wife just to satisfy them. Whatever happens, we face it together. Adoma felt a fresh wave of tears, but this time they were tears of gratitude and love. She felt seen, valued, and understood. Kofi's words were a promise, a reassurance that her worth wasn't tied to her ability to bear children, and that he would stand by her no matter what others said. As she wept softly, Kofi held her, his arms strong and comforting, as if shielding her from the weight of their shared sorrow. They stayed that way for a long time, sitting together in silence. Adoma's tears gradually slowed, her breathing softened, and she let herself rest against the steady rhythm of his heartbeat. For the first time in months, she felt a small spark of hope and courage rekindled within her. From that night on, whenever doubt or despair resurfaced, Adoma would remember Kofi's words and the warmth of his embrace. It was his love and steadfastness that kept her going through the darkest moments. And even as she continued to face her silent battles, she drew strength from the unwavering bond she shared. Kofi's words and actions became her anchor, and through patience, their love grew deeper, even amidst their trials. Kofi resisted these suggestions for a long time, but after years of pleading from his relatives, he finally broached the subject with Adoma, albeit reluctantly. Devastated but understanding, Adoma agreed and Kofi took a second wife, a young woman named Efwa. The news of Kofi's second marriage struck Mama Mina deeply. Though she kept her feelings hidden, she realized that her cause had robbed not only Adoma but also her beloved son of happiness. As she watched her son with his new wife, guilt weighed heavily upon her, especially as Adoma, despite her pain, remained close to her and continued to respect her as a mother. Mama Mina began to see her cause as a terrible mistake, a punishment too harsh for a single careless remark made in a moment of thoughtlessness. One night, haunted by guilt, Mama Mina went back to the forest, to the same clearing where she had cursed Adoma. She knelt beneath the stars and cried out, pleading for her ancestors to forgive her. I have wronged an innocent woman who only sought to love me, she whispered. I allowed my pride to destroy the happiness of my son and his wife. Please, if there is mercy in this world, Let my curse be lifted. The spirits remained silent, but Mama Amina continued to plead. For many nights, she returned to the clearing, offering gifts and confessing her remorse. Then one evening, she felt a warmth around her heart as though a burden had been lifted. A quiet peace settled over her, and she knew somehow that her cause had been forgiven. Months passed and a miracle happened. Adoma fell ill and, fearing the worst, went to see the village healer. After an examination, the healer announced that she was in fact pregnant. The entire village rejoiced with people marveling at this unexpected blessing. Kofi and Adoma were overwhelmed with joy, and Mama Mina wept tears of gratitude and relief, knowing in her heart that the curse had been lifted. When Adoma finally gave birth to a healthy baby boy, she named him Kweku, a name meaning the one who comes with joy. Mama Mina, overjoyed yet remorseful, devoted herself to caring for her grandson, ensuring he was showered with the love she had denied Adoma all those years. She never confessed her secret to anyone, choosing instead to bear her guilt in silence, making up for it by becoming a devoted and loving grandmother. And though Adoma never learned of the cause, her heart forgave all lingering bitterness, embracing Mama Mina with the same love she had once given without reservations. And so, with time, the family healed, and Mama Mina, having learned the cost of pride and resentment, spent the rest of her days striving to be the mother Adoma had always believed her to be, filled with gratitude for the love and forgiveness that had unknowingly been extended to her. Thanks for watching my video. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't, in order to get notified when we upload our subsequent videos. Thank you.